It's thinking, per usual. Come on. You can do it. There it goes. All right. So now we're live in both spaces. Yay. I like it when technology actually works. All right. Hi, guys, whoever decides to join us. And we're still early into this, so it'll be a minute before we have people. But let everybody know who you are and why we're chatting today.
Name's Thomas Moore, rave at the Raceway with Dominion Raceway, sales at Dominion.
All right. You're breaking up a little bit, which you weren't doing before. I'm not sure if it's because we finally went live.
What do
Say
you need from
something.
me?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you just let me know what you need from me. I'll try to fix it.
Okay. We'll keep going because right now you sound okay. But when we first started out, it was like there was a delay in you talking. There was a little bit of a delay on the video. So we'll see. Okay. So I actually got to meet you last year. Somebody had mentioned Rave at the Raceway to me, and I was like, cool, I can check that out. I didn't even know Dominion had drifting. Like, I think it had been mentioned to me, but I had never actually seen it. Like, I hadn't seen like an event that's like, hey, here, come to this thing. Um, and then I did road racing with Ryan Downey, and I've said this on here
Enduro.
before. It's really hard to make enduro. Yeah. It's really hard to make that look sexy. It's very hard to make that look sexy. It's like
Yeah.
you just cross your fingers and pray. I don't know. Uh, and then so I got to meet you in those travels, and it's been interesting talking to you about, the kind of the way the track works, how the events work, what's going to be happening for the upcoming year. So I'm not sure where you want to start. I normally start with, how did you get where you are right now? Like, what got you to here? What did you do prior that you were in cars? And then how did you get into working for Dominion?
Um, okay, yeah, we can start there. So ours are not something that I've been into for a very long time.
Okay.
Honestly, it pretty much started right before Dominion. I was selling cars. I've always been a
Hmm.
salesman, always been a salesman, managed a few restaurants and stuff. Did I get to Dominion? An ad, an ad looking for a new salesman, to be honest with you. And I
Okay.
applied, and they said you were looking for somebody to sell sponsors. I could do it, and I could do it. And that's what I'm doing for them.
Okay.
And they
So,
necessarily didn't want me to do events and stuff like that.
all right. I can't tell if it's your
Just right.
headset or your internet connection.
Okay. Breaking up.
It's one of the two. Yeah, but it's kind of intermittent, so I can't tell if it's your internet connection or your whatever headset you're using.
Ooh, you said there's a delay if I do it off my phone.
Well, I don't know if it's because you're doing it off your phone, but there's a delay in your voice. And like for a hot second, you look like you were kind of like frozen for a second. Sorry, guys, technical issues.
Technical issues, and I'm not a tech guy.
That's better. So it may just be the headset. I'm not sure. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens. So you signed up with Dominion. You didn't start out to do events. Tell everybody what selling sponsorship looks like. What is that exactly?
Selling sponsorship is honestly just a lot of phone calls. Uh, just trying to get people to buy into Dominion for marketing. I mean, that's all sponsorship really is marketing a lot of the times. So it's trying to get a brand to believe in your brand enough to push their brand forward.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I don't think I've ever heard the event side of it referred to so much as sponsorship. I know, I think it's Summer Duck. they have like banners and stuff that you can purchase, and that's kind of how they handle like some of their sponsors, if you will, is basically just like advertising.
Yeah, I mean that's really all a sponsorship truly is in the end is advertising. I mean,
Fair.
a sponsorship is, I guess, in terms supposed to be something, the word sponsor is almost like somebody just helping you out, but that's not what, a business is going to give you thousands of dollars for. They're looking for the return on it, and their return comes through the advertisement that comes with good events or good, marketing.
Okay. So for sponsorship for Dominion, is that normally events now, or what are other ways that sponsorship can work within the structure of the facility? Because the facility is more than just racing, correct?
Yeah, so we do concerts. We got MMA fights coming up. We do, all types of shows. Drifting, the short track NASCAR weekly series, like the enduro races. So there's so much that goes on there that, we have plenty of different ways to market to tons of different demographics because your concerts are going to bring out a different person than your races, and we do go bands and they bring out completely different than anything
Oh,
else, you know what I
100%.
mean? So we do so
Can
many
can
different
can
things that
can
we
you
can
send
reach
me
almost.
can you send me the event invite for the next go-go? Like I'm down.
Oh yeah,
I'd show up
absolutely.
to a
We have
go-go.
we have we have quite a few in the year.
Okay. I didn't realize you guys had that because I think the only thing that really gets marketed to me via my social media feed is usually anything that has to do with the racing side of things.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't necessarily market the Go-Go's because it's not my market, but I can send them to you every time we
Sure.
have them.
Okay. Deal. I'll make it to at least one. I have some friends that we usually go to those locally. What is it? Manassas, one of the wineries in Manassas has them, from time to time throughout the year. And so we just go sit outside with a chair, listen, dance, drink something, and go home.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they have all the good bands, Junkyard and Backyard, and they bring all the big
Hmm.
hitters down. So they're good
Yeah.
shows. They're well attended. It's just I I started there with media in Virginia. Was the Go Go's.
Okay.
I was working with the Major League Band when they were very very early on,
Okay.
um, and that's where I started was the Go Go's. So like I kind of drifted away from that. It's a different crowd. So
Yeah, it's definitely a different culture for sure. Okay, so all sorts of events happen there, but your focus is mainly on the side or motorsport side of things.
yeah.
Rave at the Raceway seems to have become very popular. How did that come about?
So when again starting off there, selling sponsorships, whatever, I wanted to start doing events, because I believe that bringing good events to the track would actually help me get sponsorships. Having events to where I can talk to people and things of that nature. So I started to talk to different clubs. I reached out to like every single club there probably was. I started working with a few different clubs and things of that nature. And then I did one show. It went good. And then the next meeting, the owner was like, "What are you going to do next?" And the owner, Steve Britt, he actually said he liked the idea of a foam party, that they have done it there several times, but it has never been successful. Does he think that I could make it successful? So I pretty much said I'll try. And I love music. I love rap, EDM, everything. So I just told
Sure,
them if we're going to do this, we're going to do it the proper way. A phone party should probably have a theme to it and blah blah blah.
sure.
So that's where kind of rave came from, was because the owner wanted a phone party, and I just branded it Rave at the Raceway, and I ran with that brand.
Speak of the devil, Andy with Pop Pop's Garage in the Instagram feed.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He said that's what he said. He said, "My guy."
Yeah, yeah. Super supportive
Well, so
guy, awesome
the
guy.
oh, absolutely. I love Andy. The foam party is actually, I think, definitely part of the appeal for one of your events. So I don't remember who I was talking to. Is one of my drift friends, and they're like, "There's a foam party. I'm in," and I'm like, "There's cars." It was like
Yeah,
the foam party was just like the icing on the cake to show up. It's like
yeah,
whatever makes your heart happy.
yeah. It was. I mean, for year one, I couldn't have asked for anything more. I mean, it was definitely one of Dominion's biggest events last year. I would say it was in our
Okay.
top five up there with, you know, some of the rentals like Clean Culture and things of that nature. I mean, it was extremely, extremely busy. Definitely, I would say it's probably definitely our most attended street racing night last year. I mean, street racing was insane
Okay.
for the foam party. Yeah.
Okay. So explain what all of that looks like because the street racing is different than the drifting and the other racing stuff. And hold that thought real quick. Andy said drifting has to have a side thing to get people to spectate. Foam parties, chef's kiss.
Yeah, yeah. Inclusion. That should be
Uh-huh.
the big topic for today. Is you
Well,
know,
it's
a
inclusion
lot of
and
people.
mingling.
Yeah,
It's the mingling that doesn't happen at a lot of the race events. It happens between the spectators, but it doesn't always get to happen with the drivers,
yeah,
which I think is good when it comes to the drifting because the drifters will talk to everybody.
yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, everybody will talk to everybody, and that's part of it. There's like these barriers, these weird barriers in between all these different, you know, race cultures. And,
Yeah,
you know, again, a guy like me, I'm so new to it that I'm like oblivious to all this stuff, you know, all the different barriers and different beefs and everything. So I just kind of trying to find my way through everybody and, you know what I mean? Just make everybody love each other. So all these events will be better if people can
agreed.
just get along.
Agreed. Well, and it's nice too because I think we're starting to see it more and more with the larger events. And Brandon Gray said that the Black Hand guys did the 1025 event at Dominion, and we had a blast. Looking forward to coming back.
Yeah,
Um,
the Black
I
Hand
th-
crew is super
red car.
supportive. All guard, yeah, great
It's a
guys.
red car that had Black Hand down the side of it, right? Am I thinking of the right
Yep,
vehicle?
yep.
Okay, okay.
They had a few of them that pretty much looks very similar to each other.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Um, I was going to say something. Oh, I'm noticing that a lot of the larger events have kind of figured out the fact that there need to be like multiple things happening. Whether it's music in conjunction with a car show, vendor market, whatever it is. It's like this coming together of things. And a lot of the larger events are getting to a point where they're incorporating more than just one race style on the same day. So the last one that had the foam party, you said something about street racing or yeah, street race, and
Yep.
then that's different from the actual drift area track. So how does that work when you have both at the same time?
So we're not gonna do. So it's two separate days. So we have July 31st is the
Okay.
foam party. Friday is the foam
Okay.
party with the we have a car show right on the actual oval track itself, with the
Okay.
foam party in the pits of the oval track,
All right.
and then the road course, that 8th mile stretch in the front, is where we'll do
Mhm.
our street racing. And
Right.
then
That's where you usually do drag, right?
yep,
Okay.
yep. So, and then we have camping available that night, and then we'll wake up and then we'll drift the course the next day.
Okay. All right. So drifting doesn't happen on Saturday. It happens or on Friday. It happens on Saturday.
Yep, Saturday from
Okay.
10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Good
it's
deal.
a nice long day.
As you can tell, all of my events are blending together at this point, so I don't remember what everybody's doing at this point. So I was working on a calendar for my website. It's gonna be like, look, just go here. That's where I'm gonna be. Come see me.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. So
we could do an event where drifting and street racing would be possible all at once. It would just be a whole lot of organization, and probably wouldn't be we probably wouldn't make the one or the other community happy, if that makes sense. The street racers would
okay,
be annoyed with the
right,
drifters, or the
because of where
drifters
they
would
would
be,
come together.
yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because where the drifters would have to hop out from the pit is where the street would be ending.
Yeah. Yeah, so we would just have to, it'd be a whole lot of communication that would be needed. It's possible, but I don't think we would ever want to do it just because it would make somebody upset in the end.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair after seeing the way it's set up. Um, and we do have tandem option. Yes.
Yes, tandems are allowed. You just need a cage for tandem. Same thing
Okay.
as um on August 1st, we are going to offer the whole course to be drifted. I don't know if you remember, like last time we just did that back part of the course, and then they kind of
Yeah.
cooled down the whole way, the rest of the way through. Well, this time we are going to have a session where the whole course is open, but for the whole course,
Oh, sweet.
they do want cages for the whole course, though.
That's fair. That's fair.
So it is
Did
a
you hear that,
cageless
Andy?
event. It's a cageless event. It's a cageless event, but for tandems and for full course, you do need a cage.
Okay. All right. Andy said whole course, exclamation point, question mark. Yes, Andy, but you can't in your car because you don't have a cage, sir. You better find another car.
Speeds that would be needed to get that whole course through, that, they definitely want some cages for that one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Makes sense. Okay. So what else can we talk about? Because I feel like there's so many things like I want to ask you, but I don't know if it's too many questions, and I don't know what the right questions are and the wrong questions are. Some of the tracks that I've talked to have talked to about what it actually takes to run an event, to host an event, because I'm sure we might have some people who are watching this that maybe they want to actually host one, but it looks intimidating from the outside.
Um, so I would say that hosting an event, and so I think there's a difference between an event host and an event organizer. So I think a host
Hang
is
on a
just
second.
somebody. Okay, go ahead.
Hang on a second. Andy says you act like I don't have a tube bender. I'll build one.
Yeah, he'll get one
You
done
better
in a
get on
week.
it, sir.
Yeah, he'll
Right?
get it done quick.
Because don't think for a minute I'm not going to be in the passenger seat for that under the bridge.
I know, right?
I want to shoot that from the outside, though. As much as I would passenger for that, I want to shoot that from the outside because that spot, like right down in there where the flagger is, and then like on the other side of the bridge where like the fence line is to spectate, like those are like the two sweet spots for that tunnel, and it's just like they look so pretty. Like, and
Yeah,
then you get to add tire smoke. That would be amazing.
yeah, I'm
Okay,
definitely excited
so
about that.
hosting an event versus, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So I think there's a difference between an event host and an event organizer. An event
Okay,
host is somebody that can come out and host the event. They should be like the mouthpiece of the event. They're like a promoter to me. I would say
okay,
I'm like an event organizer, to where like I actually put the events together. Um,
okay.
and to put the event together, honestly, I don't think it's hard. I mean, it's really just you gotta have the will to just keep calling people. It's a lot of phone calls. Everything's a lot of phone calls. Yeah, a lot of phone calls, and just um in this world, I've noticed that you definitely have to show up at other people's events and talk to them face to face. Um, but most people that I've talked to want to work with the track. So I might have an unfair advantage because I do work for the track. So some of these event promoters or organizers, they're kind of the outside looking in. I'm more of like the inside looking out.
Right. Well, I guess that's my question to you. Like, let's run a scenario. So Dawn wants to host her own drift event. How does she approach you, and what do I need so that I can do that?
Um, Call the track, ask for pricing. They're going to give you pricing. They're going to tell
Okay.
you that they're just going to tell you, all your requirements that are needed. Most tracks are going to ask you, have you hosted an event before? Obviously, if you don't have a lot of experience, there is going to be a hard barrier to get in, but that's where I would recommend starting to work with people that already have the ins. So that's why you see like a lot of people doing
Okay.
collaborations, is because that collab usually can attach them to somebody that already has a reputable brand, to where now they can attach themselves to a reputable brand. So when they go out on their own, they can say, oh, well, I've worked with such and such and such and such. So people can trust them a little bit more with their product now. But I would say with the track, you're going to need insurance. Most events, you're going to need an AMBO if you're doing any type of motorsports. Um, Protect yourself, guys. Get yourself an LLC and do it all the legal ways and put everything in your business. Do not put things in your personal name. Highly recommend that being a starting point for you. And Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about the connections that you make, because you're not going to one day dawn say, oh, I want to do this myself, and you're going to be able to do it yourself. It's going to take a team behind you, and it's going to take a little time for
Don't
tracks to
underestimate me,
trust you.
sir.
No, no, no. And and look, and the real answer is how much money can you bring to the table? Because
Exactly.
most tracks will probably say, you know what, if there's more liability here, they might just charge you more, and at least have the money to, you know, to make the liability make sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, so for Dominion, for example, if somebody wanted to rent the road course for a day, does pricing for that change depending on the type of event, or if you use all of it or half of it, etc.?
Yes, so everything is priced pretty much a la carte. So like the road
Okay.
courses, usually the road course is priced in with the North Paddock area,
Okay.
because you kind of need that area to work,
Yeah.
run the road course. And then
Stage.
the oval is a separate price. The building is a separate price. The Yeah, everything's a separate price. I'll even sell you the gravel lot if you want.
I mean, at least you're honest. Has the oval ever been used for drifting?
It has, but it has not in my
Okay.
time, but it will be used October 16th through the 18th. I believe I have the
Okay.
NCE 30 club coming, and they
Okay.
are doing drifting or hot laps, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? We're trying
Yeah,
not to
yeah, no,
call it
that's fine.
drifting, but they're doing that in the oval, yes.
Okay, okay. We've got a couple of tracks that offer ovals or banked ovals, sort of tracks for the drifting. It's been interesting. It's definitely a
We
different.
we would.
Good.
It's just a mess for, or that's their claim, is it's a mess for the weekly short track racing series. They just feel like it's going to be too much
Okay.
cleanup in between the weeks and stuff, because they do they do have like their America Racer late models out there quite a bit throughout the summer. I mean, I would say it's
Okay.
every week or every 2 weeks that they're racing on that oval. So they're just trying to keep it, you know, in good shape for that, to try to keep that going.
Okay. Okay. Um, I had a question. I think I just lost it. What was it? Oh, ADHD brain at its finest. I had one. It's left my brain.
All right.
So I know what it was. Talk to me about insurance because I hear the word insurance tossed around very often, but the insurance, I get the feeling that the insurance is different at different tracks, the requirements, the type of insurance. Am I wrong in that?
Oh no, I think that it's safe to say that. I mean, different different people go for different insurance plans and different. If you're going wild and rampant on your track, I'm sure that certain insurances are different. I mean, um, Dominion really does try to keep their events contained to where they have a good relationship with their insurance. They haven't had a lot of mishaps and things of that nature to where the
Sure.
insurance being put in a bad position. um how does insurance work at Dominion? I mean, I will say that we try to do everything we can. Okay, I try to do everything I can for my uh you know clients that I'm working with, NCE 30, Altered Racing, CMD, all these people, we try to do whatever we can for them. I would say that one of the things I think I brought to the track is an easier pathway to work with the track.
Okay.
So, with that being said, as far as insurance goes, we personally do not try to allow insurance to stop us from having an event at Dominion. We have a good enough relationship with our insurance to where we try we will help you. Yeah, we will help you with insurance.
Understood.
You know what I mean? We
Understood.
don't let that become a roadblock.
Okay.
We try to say, get your own insurance. If it's something that we have to help you with, hey, let's do what we can do to bring a good event to Dominion.
Okay. Okay. Um, wow, I'm doing great today. I'm just gonna let you talk at this point because my questions aren't going very well today.
It's all right. I literally woke up like 30 minutes before this, so I was like, ah, crap, I
Oh,
gotta wake
jeez.
myself up. Yeah, I took a little nap. But yeah, I mean,
Oh, CMD, catch my drift. They're
yes, ma'am.
coming end of year for round 4, I think it is.
hmm Yes, I want to
Okay.
say they are like the first weekend of October.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody was complaining to me about, oh, I got so many events going on and this and that one, somebody I work with. And I was like, dude, you really don't want to, like, you don't want to compare it. I promise. Cause the dates that I have in my head are so many, but yeah, I want to say they're like
Yeah,
October 3rd and 4th or something like that.
that sounds about right. That was kind of the reason I was looking at putting a calendar on my website was I started looking at my calendar and it's already fairly full for the year. And I'm like, I need to be careful with this just for the simple fact at some point in time this could get out of control really, really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Um,
It's getting crazy fast. That's why I tried to put all my events out there, you know, quote unquote first, even though it doesn't matter. I mean, people are going to put their events out
yeah.
there and you're just going to have to, figure it out. But definitely try to get
Well,
my events out there early.
and for you guys too, you have enough tracks that are just close enough that if you guys aren't careful about scheduling, it splits it for everybody because they're just close enough that some people who might show up may not show up because maybe the other one is closer to them or, that's where the homies are going, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I'm so new to this that I'm trying not to step on people's toes and
Yeah,
things of that nature. I mean, like, going back to
sure.
last year, I put that whole Dominion Drift Day together for the 25th, and I had no idea that Summit had
Yeah,
that event going on. Again, I'm so
yeah.
new to this that everybody's like, "Oh, you should know about that event. You should know about that event." And I'm like, I didn't. I'm sorry, but that's why,
Yeah,
that's part of the reason why I'm not doing one in October this year is because that was never my
yeah.
goal, was to battle another track for the same clientele. I think that everybody loses that
Right.
way.
Well, that and then with where you're located, Summit is one of them Richmond would be another. And then there's a couple of Maryland tracks as well too, that some of the Maryland people will travel into the Virginia tracks depending on what they're looking for, or depending on where the bulk or the majority of their friends are.
Yeah.
Um, and that weekend there was like 6 different events, I think it was, just that particular weekend. And we're all
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah. A
I don't know
lot.
where we're going. And then it was like, well, I can't go there for 2 days. I'm going to go here and then I'm going to go there,
Yeah.
trying to figure it
Yeah.
out.
Well, I'm glad that you
Well,
came to
talk to us
Dominion. It
about.
was great meeting you.
I was glad I went too. I was actually I like doing new things, and I had seen the road course, but I hadn't been on it because for the enduro it wasn't there's no passenger seat for the enduro. I'm sticking a camera in the car to get, the information and then shooting from the outside. So it's not like I was weighing the enduro car down for, screw up time. Um,
Look, the way
so
those
it was
things were
nice to actually be able
crashing,
to
you
get
didn't
in
want
a
to be in it. The way them things were crashing that day, you did not want to be in one of those.
Yeah, we did have a good one. We did have a good one that found a way to get a little upright. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting to watch because I think I remembered asking Ryan a question about the enduro race because I think I had heard a couple of people say that it was like scary or, you know, not terrifying necessarily, but they felt like they had to be really aware. And I was like, okay, either I'm ignorant or I'm arrogant. And I was like, I need somebody to tell me which one it is because I was like, I don't understand. And Ryan's way to explain it was like, think about being in a tin can on a roller coaster that may come off the track. And I went, okay, I can work with that.
Yeah. 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 We're 40 other people on the track with you.
Exactly. And he's like, you're going like 60 or 70 miles an hour. And he's like, if you even hit like a rock in the road, he's like, you're going to feel it and it's going to send you somewhere. He said, so that's kind of why there's an edge to it. Like there's an edge to your nerves while you're doing it, apparently. And he actually offered for me this year if I wanted to do, was it HPDE? I think it
Yeah.
is like the
Hmm.
whole like driver training thing. He offered me one of the cars this year if I wanted to do one of those so that I could get like the whole like feeling of doing it and like get the safety and the knowledge portion so that maybe I could do the enduro with them this year because I was like my one feeling is hurt that you didn't ask me if I wanted to do this. He's like, well, everybody here has track time. And I was like, my one feeling is still hurt, sir.
Yeah, he needs to start you at track attack first and then take you up to,
Well,
so there's like
yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
levels. So yeah, make sure you do the track attack first before you do the HPD because I heard that one's a little
Okay.
intense. Must yeah.
I'm okay with intense though. I'm intense.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. So. um, but yeah, no, that's fair. I'll talk to him about it. We didn't confirm anything, but we talked about it briefly. And I'm like, look, I'm down to try new shit as long as I'm allowed to have a camera so I can tell people about it later. That
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's
you
my
can
only thing. Like if I'm going to
film
do something like
everything.
that, we need to talk about it. Yeah, exactly. We need to talk about it because I'm sure my commentary will be more entertaining than the actual driving.
Shoot, I don't know. Might both at the same time might be pretty great to watch.
Well, I'm one of those people that my son doesn't know what to do with me sometimes when it comes to video games because I don't do like the newer style of video games with like the third or the first person and switching between like the different views and stuff. There's too many toggles happening. I grew up with a Nintendo. I was happy with it. I still own it. So it's one of those things where so I start cussing at the game can't hear me, the characters can't hear me, so there's this whole commentary happening while I'm trying to play the video game and it's usually like, well, that's just dumb, wait, what am I looking at, why am I looking at the ceiling, because now my perspective is kind of like that sort of thing. So I would think the commentary would probably be the most entertaining part.
Well,
Andy
well, I
says
have.
on average, oh good.
Go ahead.
Andy said, on average, how many people show up on Friday nights to race at Dominion?
So last year was good. Last year was good. We were averaging probably anywhere from 90 to 100 cars racing on
That's
a
for
Friday
street.
night. For street racing, yeah, and
Okay.
I would say spectator count was anywhere from, I don't want to aim too crazy, but I would think that it was upwards of like 4 to 600 on an average. I mean, it felt really good out there the whole summer.
I will say that I didn't stumble. I knew Dominion was there, but I didn't stumble across it until later in the year last year. And I went to check out one of like the night drag sort of deals.
Hmm.
And from my perspective, having a camera from the sidelines, I wasn't close enough because obviously I didn't have media access because I was just
Hmm.
coming to check it out. Wasn't enough light to be able to get like good media from like the outside. I even tried to camera a car with a GoPro and it just none of it was great. But it was so late in the year we didn't have that sunlight left over. So I can imagine it's
Okay,
probably a little bit nicer in the warmer months because the
it
sun
is.
takes a little longer to go down.
It is, but they did buy lights. Like, I don't know if
Okay.
they had them at that time when you came, but they bought
I don't think so.
like the portable lights that are run off of the gasoline and stuff like that that they you would use for like construction. So they bought like a few
Okay.
of those and put those out. I mean, I can't tell you that it made a huge difference, but I know that the lighting
Okay.
situation did get better. And that was
Okay.
towards the end of the year, though, I believe.
Okay. All right, good deal. Um, there it went again. There was a whole question in my head. Oh, tell us about last year. What were some of the events that were run last year, even outside of like the drifting events, and how did those go?
Um, so I worked with a particular club last year, and we did a few events, a lot of park and chill style events, more show style events. That I no complaints. I think that most of the events went well. To be honest with you, the least attended event was actually the one that I met you at, the Drift Day. That was
That's fair.
probably, yeah, that was probably our least attended event. And I would say that we got hit probably pretty hard from all those other events that were going on that day. Clean Culture
Hmm.
was in Richmond the very next day, so I know we lost some attendance based upon that.
Right.
Um, but for the most part, it was a great season. I'm a big charity guy. I like to try to do charity stuff. They did allow me to do a breast cancer awareness show last year. I enjoyed that. Hope this year it goes, bigger, better. That's one
Sure.
of the ones that I like. I really like the charity stuff. Again, we did a lot of concerts last year. All their concerts are very what would you call it? They're tributes. So it's definitely an older crowd for the concerts. They do the go-go's, like I was saying. If you've never been to an MMA event there, it's really dope. Um, I know
Okay.
people probably think like low level fighting, but it's really not. I mean, those guys battle it out really crazy. Some of them have been on bigger stages, as far as the
I
fighting
didn't
scene
even
and
know that was
everything
a
like
thing that
that.
was there.
Yep, yep. Rocket Combat Sports is the name of the group that we bring in. And
Okay.
it's, I, I've never seen so much blood in my life. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy to watch. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Um, we do like everything though. I mean, banquets, like a lot of the banquets for the different car divisions that they have. We have a lot of like, what did we do? Pruitt Construction came in and did a banquet not too long ago. So we work with pretty much everybody and anybody.
What are some of the other types of car events outside of drifting, enduro, street, and drag? Are there other types of racing?
Again, there's the oval. So the oval has racing like every other week or so throughout the whole
Okay.
summer. I think that starts April and ends in October. Um, I know people don't want to hear it, but the truck scene is huge at Dominion. We do a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but like 3 or 4 truck shows a year, and they're actually like one of the more heavier attended shows.
I believe that actually because I was on my way back from Florida. Yeah, I think it was on my way back from Florida last year, which is kind of what put Dominion back on my radar. As I was getting closer and closer to getting home, I was like, "Why are there so many squatted trucks?" Like I just
Yeah,
like I'm going down 95 and I like, "Is there a car meet somewhere?" Like I'm waiting for like this big gas station somewhere to like have like and it was you guys. And I went, "Oh, that makes so much sense now."
yeah. I mean, it is, in my opinion, it's the biggest market right now. That is, they're
Okay.
just so they're well. One, they don't have a home, and they don't
Yeah,
have.
that's fair.
They can't go to a 7-Eleven and park and chill because they're going to get tickets. You know what I mean? Like if they go somewhere,
Yeah,
they have to go somewhere and then take that thing back home. They really can't be riding around in the streets too much with it. So they're
sure.
just very, they're a starving market that's looking for a place to show off their truck and not get in trouble. I mean, which is kind of how everybody should feel. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
that's my goal for Dominion, is to provide a home for people to not be on the street, getting in trouble, catching tickets, whatever the case may
fair.
be.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Um, my son and I both like trucks as well too. Like I love seeing a truck that drifts because there's not a lot of them. There's a handful of them. There's not a lot of them. And
Hmm.
as much as I can appreciate a lifted truck, I prefer a stance truck, like just that very low rider style kind of like stance truck.
Yeah, they're super
I
dope.
know
They're
trucks
super
are
dope.
if they're done right, man, it's just like they're just sexy. Like you're just like
Have you
that's so
ever
cute.
have you ever been to Attitude Check?
I have seen it. I have not experienced. I have not gone.
Yeah, I haven't been either. That's another look. That's another show that I had to kind of mend some things with, because accidentally putting it on the same day situation. But yeah, I'm gonna attend that one this year. It looks really good, and there's a
Okay.
lot of those stance trucks are in that show.
When is that? Where are we going? I'll join you.
Look, I'll give you the information. I'm not even sure. I have to look. Look, I got too many of my dates in my head. I can't remember other people's dates. I know I
All
have
right.
it
Well,
like
when we're
right
done,
here though.
well, I was gonna say when we're done, you just send it to me.
Yeah, I mean it's not far. It's right down the street here, so we ain't gotta go too far. Yeah, I'm gonna find it and I'll send it over to you because
Okay.
I don't have it right
Yeah,
there.
I definitely like there's things like rednecks with paychecks. Like I would go to at least one of those just to say that I went. Um, one year, and I need to remember to actually like try to schedule and figure out. So I might try to do it for next year. Have you ever seen the one where they throw vehicles over the cliff in Alaska?
No, but
Like
that sounds
they
amazing.
oh, I don't remember the name of it. I have an 8-year-old in my world that, as far as he's concerned, he's mine, but he's not mine. And we happened to come across it, and I cannot think of the name of it off the top of my head, but there's an older gentleman who has a property out in Alaska, and what they do is they set the cars up with like tie down straps. There's a particular media company that sets up like GoPros and stuff on the vehicles. They capture every angle of this thing. Just they slam the gas pedal down, they put it in place, like they send it like full send off the cliff, and it goes flying or it just drops right where it is and then it tumbles down. And then they have like this like water pit, if you will. It's supposed to be a pond, I guess. And a lot of times, like the goal is to try to get to the water if you can. Like that's when everybody gets like super excited about it. Or if it hits so hard, the whole thing explodes and everything goes everywhere. So it could be a minivan, it could be an RV. I don't think they've sent a boat yet. Like I think it has to have an engine, like a running engine, so they can get the actual speed to launch it. And they have
Yeah.
like two different ways to do it. But it's just like the coolest thing to watch because it's destruction for the sake of destruction, but the thing would go die in a junkyard anyway. And there's
Yeah.
just thousands of people sitting in lawn chairs just watching stuff come hurtling at them. It's great.
Yeah, yeah, I would
I'll find
definitely
it
do
and send
that.
it to you. At
I
least
would
once in
definitely
my
do
life,
that.
I want to go check it out.
Yeah, SEMA this year. I'm doing SEMA this year. That's one of the ones that
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can get down with SEMA. I don't know if I have the attention span for it. Um, Andy
have you ever
says,
been to
and
Vegas?
definitely want to. Yeah, I've been to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm a Vegas
And
guy.
definitely want to go to more Dominion events this year just to see different stuff. Yeah, Andy, I'm with you on that too. That was kind of why I had more questions on like kind of what's there because you guys are only like 45 minutes or an hour from me. It's just like right down the road for me, essentially, considering where I travel everywhere else. Um, so the hard part that I have with SEMA, I almost went this past year. Oh, excuse me. I'm still not over whatever crud got me last week. Um, the I don't do well with car meets because
Hmm.
once I have seen all of the vehicles, I'm ready to go home. Because I don't want to photograph a car sitting beside another car sitting beside another car with four people standing in front of it. And that's
Yeah.
what SEMA feels like to me is you're wandering around a big event space and you're just like, okay, it's all stuff that I'm never going to buy, but you're going to tell me about it. Okay. Burnout Wars would have been the only reason I wanted to go to SEMA. Like, can we
Yeah,
add a burnout pit to like Brave at the Raceway?
they
Pretty
did.
please, thank you. Did they?
SEMA?
Did I
Yeah.
miss that? No,
Yeah.
oh no, I know SEMA did. I said, can we add that
Oh,
to Rave at the
us.
Raceway?
Us. Oh.
Can we have our
It's
own version of Burnout Wars?
it's something I'm working on. It'll probably take another year, just to be honest. It's something I'm working on though. Uh, this is one of those breaking moments to make sure I say the right thing. Um, so this is okay. So this can be a starting point for something, right? So like when I came
Okay.
into Dominion, um, they had a way of doing things, and I won't say that
Okay.
they had a way of doing things. They just didn't have anybody that wanted to do anything extra in a sense. So like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I
I
got
got you.
brought in for sales, there was another salesman there. That man has was there for, 10 years with them. He was,
Mhm.
I'm 37 years old. He was definitely a good bit older than me. So he
Mhm.
didn't want to deal with the clubs and all these other things. He really was just focused on sponsorship. And for him, all it was about was
Okay.
sponsorship. He didn't
Okay.
care. He didn't do events, nothing like that. So there was nobody with the mindset of really that they to bring in different events. So drifting, like you said, oh, I didn't know drifting was at Dominion. It really wasn't. I mean, they
Okay.
did. Clean culture came in. It was who could come rent the track to do the drifting, not what
Okay.
can we put together to do drifting. So
Yeah, yeah.
so the drift pits are something that I am trying to get there, but they don't want to mess up that infield oval track. That's really where it would have to be at this point in time. We really don't have space anywhere
Yeah,
else to
yeah.
put it. So we need it in there, but
Sure.
they don't want to mess that up in there. So the goal now is sponsorship money, to be honest with you. That's really what's needed at this point. I need to get some more sponsorship money. We do have a very large, or I think it's, look, big numbers are big numbers to me. I'm still a poor guy in my mind. So like we have a very large commitment from somebody to do a decent amount of paving. I need what this person is offering us or giving us. I need to double that now. And then if I can
Yeah,
get that
yeah.
doubled, I would have enough money to get enough paving done to put a proper drift pit, because they're not just going to do it. Like they're not just going to throw up some walls somewhere and that's what it is. Like if they're going to do it, they're going to do it
Sure.
proper. They're going to make sure it's safe. They, we they they've been in the game a long time, so they've seen tracks that were on top get crumbled by stupid mistakes and people getting, suing tracks for
Right.
not doing things the right way. So they just want to do it the right way. So I just need to I just need to get one more big commitment out of somebody, and we'll get some more paving
Okay.
done at the track. And once we get more paving done at the track, we'll definitely, the pits will be a
Okay.
thing. It just might take another year or so to get some big commitments from someone for some paving.
Okay. Um, Mr. East wrote Dominion goes out of their way to try and make money in anything besides motorsports and car culture. I think he just answered that for you. Is they're in the process of trying to do more with that. So it's not just the other things that you're using. The thing is I'm not even marketed the other things that are happening there. The only thing I'm marketed at this point now is the motorsports stuff
Yeah,
in my social media feed anyway.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he he is right in a sense of like what it used to be for sure. I will say when I came in
Yeah,
there, there was
100%.
a different vibe than what there is now. I will say that. Like, and I mean,
Well,
I've talked to East a few times, so he knows that like I personally am pushing for a lot of things. He's made suggestions of things that we should do for events. I'm like, you know what? As long as my guy Kevin, who's running the events, is good with it. Like I'm good with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not here
sure.
to make things hard. I'm here to make things fun and like people want to come back to the track. I mean, that's what it's about for me is people having a good time, everybody being safe, and then everybody enjoying the track enough to come back.
Yeah, and I'm going to segue off of that in a second. And he said you've done a lot to change minds at Dominion more than anyone else has been able to. And I think to that
Appreciate that.
point, I think the person before you, because it wasn't a task that they wanted, there wouldn't have been changing any minds because the task that would have been required needed somebody who cared enough about it to want to do it.
Yeah,
Um,
and
but
real
I
quick,
know,
real fast off of that,
yeah,
right? So
yeah, yeah.
just real
Mhm.
fast off of that. So one of the things that I showed you of, people thinking like, people putting the notion out there of like, oh, the track wasn't something until we made it something. Or like nobody wanted to work
Yeah,
with Dominion. No one wanted to work with Dominion until we worked with Dominion. I like that is completely false. The real situation at Dominion is they have 1,000 inquiries. Every group out there, and most of the groups that I've approached, some of them would even be a little standoffish towards me because they're like, "Oh, well, we reached out to you guys and like you wanted nothing to do with us." Okay, guys,
yeah,
that might have been the case, or you might have felt like that was the case, but like I
right.
wasn't at Dominion when you guys were reaching out. There was someone there that
Yeah,
they didn't want anything to do with clubs. Part of the reason why they didn't want anything to do with clubs, obviously, the gentleman was too old. He wasn't going to be talking to car clubs. But another reason is the drama that goes on with clubs, right? So like they don't want to be really part of that drama. And like it was one of those things, recently where it's like, see, Tom, this is why we kind of wanted you to stay away from the clubs, is because we don't want
yeah,
you to get tied in the drama, and unfortunately some drama happened because I was trying to take myself away from it and work with other clubs. So for every club
right.
that works, any club that's out there watching, please understand, like I'm down to work with everybody, but we are, I work for Dominion at the end of the day. So I can't attach myself to one
Well,
particular
there's no
club and
exclusivity. Yeah.
exactly,
There there
exactly.
there can't be exclusivity on something like that. Not when you run an event space like that. It can't be like, "Oh, well, we have to be the only ones or, we're not gonna work with you." Okay. Then I guess we
Yeah,
can't work together because we can't just work with you. Yeah, no, I understand that.
yeah.
Um, but I will say too, Dominion at current, if I remember correctly, somewhere in my travels, I know Dominion used to be in Manassas or, in that Woodbridge kind of like corridor, Prince William County. And then it moved into the space that it's in now. If I remember correctly, it didn't get built as it was originally spec'd, if I remember correctly, because I don't think the drag strip was supposed to be where it actually is.
No, so we actually don't have a true drag strip is the issue.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so we don't have a true drag strip, and I guess that was part of the original plans.
Mm,
And that is part of the battle with some of the community. Obviously, the drag community in specific, they're upset with
Sure.
Dominion for not putting that in, what their original plans were. Um, Again, here we go, reaching. Don't know if I'm saying things I'm not supposed to say, but but the realization is it was a money thing. I mean, they ran out of money when it came to the drag strip.
Sure.
And then at this point in time, I'm not going to talk for Dominion, but I'll talk for me.
Okay.
I personally don't think that if Tom went out and got $1.5 million in sponsorship, that's what I would want to do with the money. I would,
Sure.
I just don't think that the return on my investment would make sense.
I get it.
Do I think drag is awesome? I think it's awesome. I think it's so cool. I think that, how fast some of those cars go. I think that there is a crowd for it, but also at the same time, you have doesn't Custom Tees do drag? They're right around the corner. You have
So
Summer
Custom
Duck does
Tees
drag too,
isn't
right?
right around the corner. Summer Duck does drag, which is closest to you. I think it's closer than Custom Tees is. Custom Tees has been up on the chopping block here a couple of times where they've talked about selling. If Custom Tees sells, it will probably go away. It will probably be bought by a builder. It probably will not stay a track because there's been too much with the noise ordinances, and there's been a couple of things that have happened there that the county has like very much put their thumb on them and just kind of said, no, we don't want you to do this thing. And they have fought to get some of that back because they had an incident when they were doing their legal pits, which is actually how I came across Custom Tees. It's far from Dominion, maybe an hour. Yeah, that was Andy. So, because it's in Colonial Beach, there was an incident when they had legal pit and somebody got hurt. And my understanding is they eventually died after they got hurt. So
Hmm.
when they were doing legal pit, which is what we want for the takeover people, is we want to give them the opportunity for the legal pit to get them off the streets. The problem was is that they had so many media people, it got dark. You had overhead, the big ass floodlights on. You've got tire smoke on top of it. A media person all dressed in black ran in front of a car, and the car probably didn't even see them, if I had to guess, hit them, didn't realize they hit them because again you've now got barrels and cones. They knew they hit something, they didn't know they hit a person, and then ran over them a second time.
Oh no.
So when that happened, that particular event got shut down. That's actually how I came across drifting. Custom Tees was where I started going for the legal pit. We had seen the takeover stuff on the street prior. I say we because I did this with my son. And I'm like, I'm not sure this is how we should be doing this, sir. And then we came across the legal pits, went to the legal pits, and then we came across drifting after that. Custom Tees for right now is still operating, but last I saw, they had put it up for sale. Whether that's actually what happens or not, I don't know. And I've noticed here lately, what is it? IHRA, I think it is. I don't know. There's so many
Yeah, yep,
acronyms
you're right.
and
Yeah,
abbreviations and things.
I believe
Okay.
you're right. They're buying everything.
They're buying everything they possibly can, which makes me nervous because it feels like McDonald's. They're buying a lot of property, and the overall deal with something like that is they're buying the real estate. Right now they're leaving it a track, but it does not mean at some point in time they won't offload that stuff to offload the getting the money back by selling the property. That's what makes me nervous about the fact that they're buying stuff up the way they are right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean the but like MIR, like that's pretty close to Dominion
Uh-huh.
too. You know what I mean? And that's a
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
that's a staple for the drag, right? So I just don't think that it would make
mhm,
sense for Dominion, sorry to those people that are upset. I wasn't with Dominion 10 years
yeah,
ago when they made those plans, but as far as I see it as, a business person. Like I don't think that we would make our return back. I don't think that we could make it make sense. What if I was able to get 1.5 million in sponsorship, I would do better things with the track that I think would push towards our future and not put it towards something, unfortunately, that would probably just be a money pit for them.
Sure. And I think that's fair. I've noticed that a lot of the spaces that have had drag strip or drag strip only have branched out to hosting just skid pad drift events, or just like or eventually like a small road course or whatever, because they have the property for it. So it's a way of making additional money. Yeah, the drag strip still does stuff, but it just doesn't seem to be as much as what it used to. I keep saying that I think drag is dying, but other people keep telling me I'm wrong. So
Um, I don't know. I ain't been in the game long enough to determine that. You know what I mean? I mean,
sure.
if you look around and see how many drag strips are being bought up or closing down, I mean, I would think that that's a small sign of what's really happening. Um, I think that sometimes consumers see things a different way than the actual business does as well. You know what I mean? Like I
That's
think
fair.
that sometimes a consumer will say, "Oh, it's not dying," but then the strip itself is probably going, "Yeah, we had a great attendance last year, but hey, it was just enough money to put this glue back on this strip for you guys to come out another
Yeah.
year." 'Cause, I that's one thing that is I was told is it's very expensive to keep a drag strip maintenance.
All right. We're gonna go to a comment in a second.
Yep.
Um, I think I have seen the same thing with what's happening with the tracks here lately. And I think there is also an age out happening right now. And because I thought I was seeing it with NASCAR as well too, and I think NASCAR is trying to shift gears a little bit to get the younger generation interested in it,
Yep.
because their fans are aging out of attending. And I think
Yep.
it's kind of the same thing for drag as well too. And the people who own the strips, they're usually family run businesses, and they're usually
Hmm.
run on a small crew of people a lot of times. I'm sure they're tired. I'm sure they're
Yeah.
probably done after all the years spent at the track. And I think that's part of what we're seeing right now too, is they've now got a property that it's hard to maintain, or maybe they feel like they're getting too old to maintain it, or they don't have the funds to do it because maybe they used to do it themselves. I think that factors in as well too. Um, Mr. E
That's my Tuesday
says,
meeting. That's my Tuesday meeting. Every
is
every
it?
Tuesday we talk about the aging of, yes, trying to figure out the oval track. How do
Yeah,
you get new people interested in it, because it is such a sport for an older crowd.
yeah, yeah. Well, and there has to be a reason for them to be interested in it. And the hard part with that is they don't know it exists.
Hmm.
And we even see that with the drifting a lot of times too. Like myself personally, um, obviously we've all seen drifting in a movie here or there, but to know that it was something we could actually go do
Yeah.
locally at a track, however you choose to get into it. I still don't know that that's popular information. I think it makes its way to people from the people that do it. But if you have that age gap, the older person over here isn't getting it to the younger person over here necessarily. Depending on family structure and all those sorts of things. So I could see it. And
Yeah.
I think that's why you're seeing more and more oval tracks being used for drifting as well too, is because those are the people that want to use it.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, what did Mr. E say? It's interesting to hear money is going towards paving for legal pits and the loop they paid for Bandoleros, not look not looking into getting NASA SCCA back on the road course. Well, aren't they already on the road course? I'm so confused.
Yeah. Yeah. SCCA has been pretty active at Dominion, and I believe we just added more events for them this year. And we
Maybe
did,
he's
and we
talking about maybe paving the road course.
they did. they did just do some type of paving for them. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
That part, I'm not sure what he's referring to with that one,
Okay.
because I know that they got
And
some money.
Legal Pits was a completely different track that I was talking about. Had nothing to do with Dominion. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I know that they did some form of. So the original road course, they added some type of turn for what he's talking about, I believe, for either INEX or SCCA. So one of those two, they added a turn for them, specifically for them on the road course.
Okay.
Our relationship with SCCA is like pretty
He
solid.
he said he said racing classes at NASA, SCCA, not track night in America type events, and
Hmm.
Bandoleros is circle track class.
Okay. I'm not, yeah, I'm not too sure about those answers, to be honest with them. I'm not really too sure
Yeah, I don't.
about what they're adding. I know SCCA just added some stuff, but I'm not sure what it is. That is not my client. That is actually, that's the one of the owners actually handles that client. So I'm not too sure
I could
what's
see that.
going on with that. But I do know they have a
I feel
great
like,
relationship. I do know that. Like our relationship with
yeah.
that group is like really strong.
Well, I feel like and I'm not sure about, exactly what he's asking about, but I feel like that goes back to what we were talking about with the age out. NASA and SCCA is an older organization, and a lot of the people that are still in it are much older than the average person that would be getting into something like that now.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see a shift in the dynamic there, I think, as well too, on will we see it peter out because everybody ages out of it, or will there be an adapt and adjust to bring new life into it or new perspective to it?
Yeah. Again, not my client. I couldn't tell you. Like
That's
I don't know.
fine.
I don't know what their plans are. So again, we have a meeting every Tuesday at Dominion. I know East probably knows about that meeting. And that is one of the things that they talk about. Look, we're grabbing at things I might not should say, but sometimes they talk in that meeting,
That's
and
fair.
I'm there like not really paying attention too much. You know what I mean? It's the oval track and the NASCAR stuff. I am sponsorship, sponsorship, sponsorship. But when it comes to the race part of it,
Yeah,
I'll come out and I watch it. I got my favorites and stuff like that that I come out and watch, but I am not, when they start talking about points and penalties and
yeah,
all this stuff, I'm like, yo, this is I don't want to even, you want to listen to all this craziness. This is madness, so sometimes in those meetings it becomes madness to where I drown some of the stuff out,
sure.
and SCCA is part of that drowning out thing. I mean, I do know that they have a great relationship with them, but I do not know what their plans are for them in the future. But I know that they
Yeah,
added some
that's fair.
stuff this year with them. Um, hopefully, hopefully they do add some actually sanctioned races and stuff like that. Again, I know for me personally, I do everything I can to just bring what people want. You know what I mean? So he
Yeah.
says, that's what they're looking for out there. I'll bring it to someone's attention, because that's, again, I do want to see us bring more events that people would actually attend and want to be a part of.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. So what else? Do we have anything else? We've reached the hour mark. So you have the opportunity to tell me to take a hike, or we can continue talking. Is there anything else, from the Dominion side that you want to talk about? Because I can talk for hours. Sometimes I'm surprised people
um,
join the lives because I just randomly talk.
um, no, I think we pretty much covered everything. I mean, you tell me. I mean, is there anything else that we could think of? I mean, I I think we've covered a lot. I mean, I hope that people understand, where Dominion stands on things, and I understand that there is a some feelings about some things that maybe have happened in the past at Dominion, but I hope people understand that it is a new day. It is a new day at Dominion, and um, the shifting that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Again, not sure if it's even something I should be saying, but the shifting that we're talking about, that's actually happening at Dominion. Steve Britt is the owner of Dominion. Steve Britt and his wife are the owners. Steve Britt has a son, Will Britt. Will Britt is in the transition period of, you know, taking over the company. And,
Sure.
I'm 37. I believe he is, I think he's like 27. Like he's a young kid, one of the smartest people I've ever met. I mean, the kid you would never think that you would never think that he was raised as a rich kid. I'll say that. He
Yeah.
he has the knowledge, the book smarts, but if you're at Dominion and you see somebody climbing the building or something, it's probably him, like
Right.
he changes the lights, and those crazy highlights, and he grades the parking lots. He does literally everything that is asked of him. So I think that people should be, excited that that change is happening at Dominion, and I think you've seen it last year, and you'll definitely continue to see change and bigger things happening. We have all types of dope sponsors coming in. We just locked down Camping World like a few weeks ago, and Camping World is
Okay.
uh, paying for all the kids 15 and under to come to All Motor Sports for free for the entire year. That's
Okay.
Friday nights, Saturday nights, Dominion Drift Day, anything that's an in-house Dominion event. 15 and under are free with to being
That's
accompanied
awesome.
by an adult. Yep. So and there's a few others that are coming on board. I mean, we're getting great sponsorships. We're out, adding a lot of events. People like Catch My Drift are now coming to the track. We have Altered Racing. We have the NCE 30 Club. Just a lot of different stuff going on, and we definitely plan to just continue to grow. You'll see a lot of community events. One of the things that you had we're just talking about people not knowing where the starting point is. Um, my my guy my guy Andy will tell you that I just messaged him yesterday about this. Dominion's actually putting something together that we're looking to do like 3 times a year, and it's going to be like Racing 101 at Dominion, and it's going to
Okay.
be a free event where we're inviting the whole community out, kids, parents, young adults that aren't sure where the starting point is. We're going to have
Okay.
late model racers, drag racers, drifters. We're in talks with Mima's Garage right now, hoping that they can come out because they do provide like that drift school that they're doing. So the point of the Racing 101 is to provide a place where people can come out and they can hear from different types of divisions and racers on how to start, where your starting point is to get into whatever form of racing you're looking to get into. So definitely looking to just bring the community in and
Yeah.
again build a place that is safe for any type of driver.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Andy actually said, yes, sir. And then he said, I like the outlook of Dominion for the future.
Well, I appreciate it. I know we appreciate it, and all I can do is just keep trying and pushing for everybody. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like I'm just trying to get those sponsorship dollars to make it all keep flowing, and just create you know great events. And one thing that I ask of everybody, if you support Rave at the Raceway, if you support Dominion, just when you come in, try to keep an open mind and try to be inclusive, because again, you might have a phone party with street racing, you might have this with that, you might have, I'm gonna try to make these events as big as possible. I don't want to make them messy, but I do want to make them as big as possible, because in the end, if you have the same 300 people come into a drift event, your drift event is going to stay with the same 300 people. I know
Yeah.
some people don't like trucks, or some people don't like um, different forms of racing, but the realization is you never know when that next person might fall in love with what you're doing, when you keep pushing
Yeah.
everybody out and trying to hold everybody away from you because you want to. I've One thing that I've noticed is everybody seems like they want to be in their own bubble, but being in your own bubble is only going to get you but so far.
Yeah.
We won't name any names or nothing like that, but there is groups that I wanted to work with last year that I've told you about. There's people that I reached out to work with and everything like that. And some of those people didn't take offers, and it's okay. I'm not upset with that. But then I'll hear those people turn around and say like that they're losing money on events and things of that nature. And I'm just like,
Right.
you're probably in that place in your events or in your marketing or whatever it is because you're trying to be too nichey and too in your own bubble. Like, open up a little bit, let some people in, because it's going to help you in the end. Because if you don't have the money to run events, not only you hurt, the drift community hurts. I mean,
Sure.
the car community hurts, period. When the more these promoters drop off the board, it just hurt. It gives less opportunity for everybody.
Well, and I think it's tough too because there's part of me that understands kind of like the niching down to an extent because it's almost like you can't have your hand in all of it if you're building the vehicles. You have a tendency to stick to one style of something because you're building the thing that lives within that style. However, I think what happens is
Hold
when
up.
they get to that point, oh, did I lose you? Where did you go? I think we lost him. We'll see if he makes it back. I'll finish my thought to myself. Um, I think what ends up happening oh, yeah, he's gone. He'll be back. It's just me. I think what happens within that is that that you then realize that you have like the same group that you've always had, and then you have to make a decision on because you're doing the same thing over and over again and there's no change is where does that change come from? Does it come from leaving the space? Does it come from checking out a new space? Or do you just give it up altogether? Andy squared interview time. What? You want me to bring Andy in? I somehow lost him. So I think what I'm probably going to do is since we're already at like an hour 20, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'll call it. If I had to guess, his phone probably died. Oh, Andy, I kept thinking your name was Aaron. And I knew it was Andy because I've talked to you, but that's why I called you Mr. East because I had a feeling I had it wrong. I'm fired. I'll see myself out. Um, for the handful of people that are actually watching this evening, I know I'm noticing more and more that people are coming on around like 9 o'clock. Would it benefit everybody if I started doing these at 9 instead of 8? Please feel, I know, Andy, I'm horrible. Just fire me now. I fire myself all the time. Oh, he messaged me. Hang on. Let's see what he said. All right. Let's see. So I'm debating on starting to do these at 9 instead of 8 because we get engagement at the 8 o'clock time frame, but I noticed everybody kind of pops in at like 9. I'm wondering if it would be better to start them at 9. Um, okay, now he's just trying to call me. All right. I love you guys. Feel free to DM me or inbox me. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream and we'll see you next Wednesday. And unfortunately, I now don't remember who's on for next Wednesday. It might be Black Flag next Wednesday. I don't remember, but I'll talk to you guys then.